Okay, so we have a think, pair, share um, problem activity using an XY table to graph solutions of a linear equation. This linear equation is in standard form. So use the previous example as a model. You can set up your XY table like I did up here. But in my solution that I'm going to show you, I set up my XY table a little differently, in a little more compact form. Um, it's not a better way, it's just a different way, and I'm just showing you a different way. Um, it's for you to decide which you like better. So anyway, down here at the bottom, here's this think, pair, share with this standard form, and graph solutions of that and draw a line, just like the previous model. Go ahead and pause now and resume after you're done. Okay, so by now you've tried to plot some solutions to this linear equation. So the first thing to do, was to take your starting linear equation and solve it for y, and then set up an xy table. So this is what I was referring to earlier when I said that I'm going to set up the xy table in a slightly more compact way. So I still have the same values. I still have like an x column and a y column, just like I did up here. Here's my x column, and here's my y column. In this example, I kind of did all the algebra for substituting x. I put it right in the middle. Okay. But what I did here instead of putting the algebra right in the middle, I did the algebra kind of off to the side. I did it off to the side. I did it off to the side. Okay. So I still chose my values of x in the same way that I did before. But then what I did is here off to the side, I said, well, what if x is equal to -2? Then I put -2 in for x and simplify, and I got y equals 2. And of course, that went there. Okay, then I said, well, what if x is equal to 0? Because that was my next value of x. And so I substituted 0 in for x and simplified, and I got y equals -2. And that went there. Okay, then my next value of x I had chosen was 2. So then I said, well, what if x is equal to 2? So I substituted 2 in for x, simplified, and I got y equals -6. And that's what went in right there. So this way is kind of the way that I learned it. But maybe it's a little confusing to have all the math off to the side. Kind of wanted to show you earlier the direct correlation between picking a value of x, putting it into your equation, and getting the value of y that goes with it. Okay, so that you saw that connection. But once you see that connection, if you want to be able to do it this way, you can do it this way too. This way might serve better if these equations get longer, bigger, or something like that, fractions and whatnot. But anyway, I don't want to really divulge into that too much. All right, so now it was just left for us to plot these points. So the plot -2, +2, I put here. The point 0, -2, plotted there. And the point 2, -6, I plotted here. Since I chose 0 for x, that ended up being my y-intercept, right? Now, the points you chose, the values of x you chose, could have been totally different. Maybe you didn't choose -2, 0, +2. If you chose other points, that's totally fine. Those points might have just been somewhere up here, or somewhere down here, or here, or here. It doesn't matter. They would have just shown up in a line elsewhere on this graph, other than what I chose. It's not wrong. It's just different. So, don't be afraid if your values, you didn't choose the same values of x I did. That's okay. As long as you got this same line that I did, then that's fine. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.